When life gets you down, you can't just give up on the world of Warcraft. What is going on, guys? It's another one-on-one with the Cinephile, seeing that the wife is out of town, so you just got me today. I want to apologize first because I do not have a Warcraft shirt, so I decided to pick one of my favorite video games of all time, which is Mega Man X, and this is Character 0. Anyway, let's begin. Warcraft begins in the Orc homeworld that is essentially being destroyed, so they have to go from one world to another. The evil Orc Mage decides to open up a portal to jump from their world to Azeroth. And in the process, they have to kidnap humans to generate the portal. And, well, a war begins. I never played this video game in my entire life. Ever. Never, ever, ever. I'm not saying that it's silly. I'm not saying it's a joke. But maybe some people will be turned off because of what these creatures are. They would watch the preview and they would be like, what the hell am I looking at? Most fans of the Tolkien series will know what an orc is. The colors might be a little bit wrong, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's an orc. How hard is it to describe what an orc is? From a visual standpoint, this movie is phenomenal. It is spectacular. The orcs themselves play a huge role. The most popular, by far, the one that stood out, and the one that is actually starring in the movie is Durotan, played, of course, by your boy, Toby Kebbell. He shines as Durotan. He is one of the main reasons why I watched this movie in the first place, because I wanted to see how good the motion capture was with him and the rest of the orc people. Now, granted, yes, it was clearly computer-generated, and I get that. It's fine. I feel like I got sucked into the world of Azeroth and the world of Warcraft, and I did have a fun time. If you could take away anything from this movie, it's that mages cannot be trusted. If you practice magic, you cannot be trusted. No one trusts any mage. Even the orcs have trouble believing in their mage. Dominic Cooper plays the king. I love Dominic Cooper. The chick from Preacher is in it. I don't know what her name is, but I like her a lot. She's fun. A newcomer, someone I've never seen before, the human counterpart to Durotan's character. And I think he shined very well. I was very impressed with him. Ben Foster, he's the human mage. And again, it's Ben Foster. You watch Ben Foster's movies, he's not a good guy. So it's kind of predictable along those lines. You know he's going to end up being the bad guy. You know he's the one responsible for bringing the orcs and everything. The battle at the end of this movie, I think this battle is better than the Battle of the Five Armies. I was so engrossed in this battle and how epic and grand it was. I was very impressed with it. These scenes are violent. These battles are extremely graphic for a PG-13 rated movie. So thank you for that. I am so upset at the fact that Durotan died at the end of the movie. I wouldn't even call it an honorable death. He died to prove a point to his entire species. I guess in a way it's a good thing. I feel like if I followed the lore of World of Warcraft a little bit more, I'd understand the conflict between the orcs and the humans and the elves and the dwarves. And that's another weird thing. In this film, it's basically humans against orcs. The elves choose not to help. The dwarves chose not to help, which is kind of upsetting. I heard this movie didn't do too well. I enjoyed this movie a lot. If you're a fan of the video game, I feel like you're going to love this movie too. The other thing I've noticed is that this movie takes place years prior to the original World of Warcraft. Years. Because the war is just beginning. This movie ends on kind of I don't want to say a sour note, but it's a little bit on the negative side with all the deaths that happen, and basically they're going to cause a problem with the human race. I'm not saying that orcs are bad. I've never met an orc before. I have no issues with orcs. It showed me what you can do with CGI these days, and it wasn't really crappy CGI at all. So I was very impressed with the use of CGI. And I don't need to get lectured on what's good CGI and what's bad CGI. Did I like the Pirates of the Caribbean CGI? Not particularly. Did I like this version of CGI? Of course I did. The reason being is that there's no possible way you can make an orc realistic. It's the same with Planet of the Apes. I am aware that that's all motion capture. The fact that they look realistic is amazing. And that type of motion capture is so organic and it's necessary to the plot. When it's unnecessary and misused, that's when it starts to get foolish, like they do in Fast and Furious and like they do in Pirates of the Caribbean. And maybe that's what they're doing. I mean, fingers crossed for a sequel. If you always wanted to know the origins of the orcs and then the battle between the orcs and the human race, you watch the movie and then you start the original game in its entirety, I think you'll have a very good time. That is all I have to say about the World of Warcraft. What did you guys think of it? I know it's been a year, but if you haven't seen it, watch it, tell me what you think about it. If you've already seen it, do you agree with something that I'm saying? Do you disagree with something that I'm saying? Do you think a sequel is going to happen? Comment below and let me know. And don't forget to subscribe.